What's up, my people? Today we are talking about how to stop yourself from gaslighting others. Listen, some of us are gaslighters, and it's not because we're narcissists, and it's not because we're bad people. It's because we never learned effective ways to manage and communicate through conflict. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hit that subscribe button while you're here, and thank you for being here. Let's dive in. Look, if somebody has told you that you are a gaslighter, that if you've been gaslighting them, it's actually a gift. It can really, really be a gift. Because those of us who habitually gaslight other people, we don't do it because we're bad people. We do it because we don't have other tools for managing getting our needs met, right? There's sort of this concept in psychology, especially in Jungian psychology, which is those of us who don't feel we are able to wield our power out in the open by making direct requests, by being willing to be vulnerable, by being willing to be wrong. Those are all forms of authentic power, but not all of us are comfortable wielding our power out in the open. So how do we wield our power? Through the back door, through the back channel, through subterfuge, through manipulation, through getting people to see things the way we want them to see them, right? And part of that dynamic is because in our family systems, the way we grew up, we were never taught how to wield power openly. We were never taught by the grown-ups around us how to be authentic and open and vulnerable, how to ask for what we need directly, right? Maybe we were shamed as kids for needing what we needed or wanting something and being told no. Listen, if you're a gaslighter, you come by it honestly. And if you're like, what is she slapping on? I'm like curled up in my chair here. My power went out, which is why I'm doing it from this weird angle. Anyway, long story. My point is, what you need to do if you want to stop gaslighting people, you need to learn some better communication tools. And where this work begins is with something really painful. I know, you're like, great, that's just what I want to do. Another freaking growth opportunity. Stay with me. Fundamentally, we gaslight when we're not getting our way. We gaslight when we want people to behave a certain way and they won't. They're just not behaving. So we twist their version of things to make them see the world the way we want them to see it. So the first step we have to make if we want to get out of the gaslighting system is get comfortable with discomfort. We have to get comfortable with being told no. We have to get comfortable with someone saying, I don't see it that way, right? We have to sit with those feelings. So I want you right now to think of a moment where you gaslit someone. Maybe it was your spouse, your coworker, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your whoever. I want you to think about that example. And I want you to think about what it is you were wanting. What were you trying to get out of it? And now I want you to sit with being told no or being told that you're wrong. I want you to sit with that feeling of being told that you're wrong or that you can't have what it is you want. I want you to feel that feeling inside of your body. For some of us, it manifests as a pit in the stomach. For others, it's a burning in the chest. Others, it's like a pressure in the temples. That feeling is unpleasant, but it's also the feeling you're trying to avoid by manipulating other people, by gaslighting other people. So if you want to stop the gaslighting, you have to be willing to sit with that feeling, and it's awful. It's just an awful feeling. In fact, I felt it just the other day. I was coming out of a conversation and I felt exposed. I felt as though I had said the wrong thing. It wasn't a gaslighting situation, but it was one of those feelings where it gave me a feeling of rejection or a feeling that I was wrong, which is really that's the feeling gaslighters are trying to avoid, right? And I felt it burning in my chest. And rather than pick up the phone and bitch to a friend about like, oh my God, that person made me so mad and I feel like da 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 da, instead of doing that and trying to rewrite the narrative in my head so that I could be right, which I don't like to be wrong. So I'm going to rewrite the narrative and yap and vent to try and convince myself that I was right. Instead, I sat with the feeling, and it was a bad feeling. It was a burning in my chest. It was feeling of shame and embarrassment and nervousness and exposure and vulnerability and all those things. But look what happened next. Instead of running away from it, trying to talk myself out of it, I breathed into it, which is what I want you to do right now. Breathe into whatever that feeling is. Describe it. Is it a color? Is it a shape? The reason I want you to breathe into it and uncover the shape and the feeling and the location of it in your body is that it creates a little bit of distance between your psyche and the feeling. It also stops you from telling a story about it. We're not interested in whether you're right or wrong. We're not interested right now. We just want to deal with the feeling you're trying to avoid, right? So sit with it. Get some space around it. The next thing I want you to do, send yourself a huge Mack truck full of compassion, okay? I want you to tell yourself it's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's okay to say the wrong thing sometimes. It's okay to not get what I want sometimes. It's human. Welcome to your human life. We can't always be right. We can't always be perfect. We can't always get what we want, right? That's what Mick says. We can't. And if we can sit in our own broken humanity, it allows us to practice a little acceptance. If you want to stop gaslighting other people, you got to be willing to lean into the very human experience of being found out, exposed, wrong. It sucks, but we have to be willing to sit with it. What we can't be willing to do is manipulate, lie, gaslight, and control other people. Because what it creates is a situation where you don't have real relationships. What you have are minions. And at some point, those minions wake up from the dream and they are pissed and they leave. So while sitting with our uncomfortable feelings, while dealing with the reality that sometimes we're wrong and sometimes we're not going to get what we want, while that is painful, it's the gateway to real relationships. It's the gateway to love. It's the gateway to authentic connections. It's the gateway to living a deeper life. So it's worth it. There's one more thing I want to leave you with, and that is this. You can't just switch it off overnight and become someone who doesn't gaslight anymore. You can't be instantly healed of gaslighting. It's a process. You're going to catch yourself after a conversation going, oh, I did it again. In which case, it is powerful, powerful medicine to stop yourself. Go to the person that you were manipulating through gaslighting and say to them, look, I'm really sorry. I don't like how I handled that. I don't like how I handled that. Your perspective was valid. My perspective was valid. We can both see things differently and still be okay. And I want you to know that I'm sorry. And I'm going to do my best next time to react better, right? You catch yourself gaslighting, don't beat yourself up. Go apologize. Own your shit. Am I allowed to say shit on YouTube? Own your stuff. Apologize. You will recognize, actually, this is the greatest payoff of all. When you stop gaslighting people, when you own your stuff, and you show people that you're owning your stuff and that you're trying to be better, it deepens and strengthens a relationship. It actually makes you look better ultimately, which is really powerful in an authentic sense, instead of that house of cards sense that is gaslighting. I hope this was helpful. I really want to tell you, I admire the heck out of you for knowing that you're a gaslighter. We all are to some extent. Nobody is gaslight free. So just know that you're not alone. I'm proud of you for recognizing it. I'm proud of you for trying to work on it. And I want you to know I see you and you got this. Shine on, my friend, and I'll see you next time.